For the 2015 model year, the Mustang was completely redesigned from the ground up. But for 2016, we saw some additional changes. Hi, this is Joe from Way Scarff Ford, and today we're talking about this 2016 Mustang GT California Special. Let's dive in. So yeah, the Mustang was redesigned for the 2015 model year, but for 2016, we got some new packages, which this one is a California Special, was a new package offered over the years, but finally reintroduced for the redesigned Mustang. And the California package gives you unique styling on the inside and outside. You have unique exterior graphics, wheel and tire package, spoiler, blacked out grille. On the inside, you have these nice leather trim seats with suede cloth in the middle, along with this nice red contrast stitching. And then you have some unique badging on the inside as well. This one also features a very sweet sounding Corsa exhaust system, which makes that Coyote 5-liter V8 sound even more amazing. 435 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Amazing power, amazing performance. We have a copy of the original build sheet on this one. This one is very nicely equipped with features. The 6-speed automatic transmission was a $1,500 option package. This has a 3.55 ratio limited slip axle, $500 for that. Adaptive speed control, $1,600. Then we have the California Special package that was $2,500, bundling in all those features I just talked about. Reverse park assist, $350. Navigation system, $800. Pretty low miles, only 23,681 miles. Most people average about 10, 12, 15,000 miles a year. So this has pretty low miles for 2016. We're well into 2025 right now at the time of making this video. Very comfortable. This thing provides all-day comfort. This has heated and air-conditioned front seats. It's kind of toasty outside, about 80 degrees, so those air-conditioned seats feel very nice. Like the toggle switches, we have a drive mode selector. That'll make changes to the transmission shifting, steering, traction, and stability control settings. So you have Sport, Sport Plus, track mode. You can also adjust the steering. You have Sport, Comfort, and Normal. And then there's a traction control button, hazard lights. We have the push button start stop, rear parking camera, nice leather wrap steering wheel. You also have steering wheel paddle shifters if you want to take control of those 6 forward gears. Beautiful color combination in black on black, serviced and checked by our Ford certified techs. We recently took this one in on trade. The Mustang looks stunning, and then for the 2015 redesign, a lot of the shortcomings that we had to deal with Mustangs over the past decades were addressed, yet they stayed true to the looks and the theme of the Mustang. The Mustang's an American icon. Continuous production since the 1960s, where we've seen the Camaro come and go again, and the Firebird go completely. The Mustang has not skipped a beat. For the past 60 years, we've seen the Mustang in continuous production, and hopefully we'll see it for another 60 years. Nice front end styling. This has aftermarket blacked out lights. Probably if you don't like those, they can be remedied fairly easy. Blacked out grille with the California Special package. We have the exterior graphics. I love the bulges in the hood, paying homage to styling we saw in the muscle cars from the 60s. That was a pretty common theme. Hood bulges. There's that awesome 5-liter Coyote V8. Has a strut tower brace with a California Special insignia on it, 435 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque. Unique wheel and tire package. The California Special also gets this rear deck lid spoiler. Relatively spacious trunk for a small vehicle. Is a subwoofer for the sound system. We have a nice cargo mat in there. Have the California Special plate frames for the next owner of this vehicle, the next lucky owner. There's that amazing Corsa exhaust system. And another thing about the redesigned Mustang that was pretty revolutionary is if we look underneath it, we can see an independent rear suspension. For years and years, for decades and decades, it had a solid rear axle, a stick rear axle, which probably has some pros, but there's also cons. You know, this thing squats a little bit nicer without having an axle going through the middle of the vehicle. So the older generation of the Mustang kind of had a bigger derriere, was higher up. This squats down to the ground a little bit nicer. And having a 4-wheel independent suspension makes it handle and feel a lot better in the corners. People can argue about that. Yeah, you can make a solid rear axle Mustang handle pretty good, but most people will say, most professional car reviewers and journalists will say that that solid rear axle to the independent rear suspension was a big difference. And now for our grand finale, I'm gonna rev that nice sounding Corsa exhaust system so you can hear some wonderful V8 music. Well, there you go. Sounds pretty amazing to me. Sounds even better when you're behind the wheel getting that closer to the red line. I was barely getting the 4,000 RPM. Doing some performance driving will really get your blood boiling. This is a vehicle that tickles all the senses, audibly, visually, physically. It's a performance machine. It's an American icon, and it looks fantastic in the California Special guise. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. Hope to see you soon, and have a great day.